I just gave you all the keys. You don't need to watch any more of my videos. You got it. You can go do it yourself. My job here is done. Greetings. This is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. So, when you're getting into ceremonial magic, when you're getting into dealing with spirits, and this type of business, you easily see that there are methods put in place for how to contact the spirits. Different books have different methods. Different rituals, different ceremonies, different tools necessary. You know, some even go as far as what you're supposed to wear during the ritual. You got different colored candles, you know, all these different things. Does it matter? Right? That's the question. Does it matter? Do I have to follow all these steps? Well, to answer that question, I'll have to say this. Magic is a process. Alright? When you're getting into this, you have to do everything you can. You have to try your best to get rid of what you've been conditioned to believe that magic is. Alright? We think it's powers coming out of the fingertips. You know what I'm saying? We think that it's transforming people into frogs and whatever the hell you saw in the movies. Alright? So that's why Aleister Crowley really tried to, and others, tried to separate that with the magic with a K. Right? Magic with a K is meant to denote the serious practice of changing reality with your mind. Alright? Magic with a C is more entertainment. The card tricks and the people making things disappear on stage and all that, that's a whole different category. So let's not get those two things confused. One is entertainment, one is an actual lifestyle. Okay, so do you need to do the rituals? Do you need to chant the words? Do you need to have a red candle for love and a green candle for prosperity, etc., etc.? Yes and no. So the more important question to ask is why? Why do these things come about? Again, I always recommend to start with the basis of knowledge of the 7 Hermetic principles. Namely this book, the Cabalion. Now yeah, I know, I really push that book a lot. Why? Because the book is unbiased and it's straight to the point. Okay? It doesn't teach a doctrine, it doesn't teach a religion. These 7 basic principles will help you to really understand how to use your mind to create change in the world, and it shows you how to apply it to your everyday life. So you're not scratching your head like, oh, that sounded cool, but how do I use it? The Cabalion shows you. Now, if you're really serious about this, and you really want to make this a lifestyle, and you really want control over your life, I'd suggest this book by Franz Barton. It's called Initiation into Hermetics. And this is a deeper understanding of what's presented in the Cabalion. Okay? So, what I mean to say with all that is, the reason for the different colors and candles and sigils and symbols is about correspondence. Right? You see here on the Tree of Life, each of the spheres correlate with a different color. Okay. Red goes for Mars, Gibura, which represents war, represents sacrifice, represents aggression, represents the male principle, right? So if you're doing anything with those type of qualities, you're going to want to use a red candle, because the subconscious mind understands already what these colors mean. That's why they can impact a child with commercials, right? That's why when you see a McDonald's logo, red and yellow, it inspires hunger, right? It hits those base chakras in your body. All this correlates. The chakras, the Kabbalah, the Cabalion, different candles, robes, words of power, it all correlates. Angels. See, what the ancients have figured out is that our mind is built upon a framework, okay? We assume and we're taught that everyone comes into this world fresh as a clean slate, but that's not the case. That's not the case, because everyone that comes into this world is built off the DNA of their ancestors. You built off the DNA of your parents and their parents and their parents, right? And if you think that repetition, if you know and understand that repetition programs the subconscious mind, imagine what repetition does over hundreds of thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of generations, right? That's why proficiency and skill at magic is not racial, it's genetic. It has nothing to do with if you're black and you have melanin. It has nothing to do if you're white and you happen to have a calcified pineal gland. Yeah, those things can add or subtract to the intensity, but ultimately, your genetics are the key deciding factor to whether or not you get this information or you don't, right? The facts and the truths are out there on YouTube videos and in books, but some people will get it when they read it, some people won't get it, because it's a remembering. Some of us have already been through this and done the work in past lives, in previous generations. Our ancestors not only did the work, but they're the ones who figured it out in the first place. Therefore, when their offspring gets into this work seriously, it reactivates, reawakens, re-triggers the things that are in the DNA, that are in the subconscious mind, because the DNA is linked to the subconscious mind, right? So when we see certain colors, when we hear certain words of power, when we deal with certain spirits, it already has a relationship with us. That's why a great place to start as a beginner is to look into your heritage. Look at what your ancestors did. If you know for a fact that you hail from Viking blood, go study Ragnar and Rosgar. Maybe I'm making that name up. But Odin and Thor and Loki, go study your pantheon. If you know for a fact you have African roots in the Yoruba tradition, go study those deities. Right? If you know you got Native American roots, if you know for a fact, not just want to have roots, but know that you have roots, study them, right? Because what we start to find, what I start to find from reading about world religions for damn near 20 years, is that you're dealing with the same spirits, just with different names. You got a father god, you got a Asara, Osiris, a Odin, right? You got that father god, you've got that mother god, right? You've got the crowned and conquering child, right? You've got the adversary, right? You've got these different archetypes that exist in every culture, and it's built into everyone's DNA. And it's easier to find the one that correlates with your genetics. And if you don't know, that's fine. Pick one and dig deep. And by the way, those archetypes that I just named are listed here in the Kabbalah, right? You've got the Great Father, Saturn. You've got the Great Mother, right? You got the crowned and conquering child, the Christ figure. And if you zoom in there, you can see there's a cross, right? You got the goddess of love, Venus, Aphrodite, Inanna, Ishtar, whoever you want to call her, right? Right there in Venus. We know it as Venus, right? You've got Thoth. You've got Tahuti, Mercury, Hermes, right? The 7 Hermetic principles, right? These are archetypes that exist within the subconscious mind of everybody. Now you can start to see why I love this so much, because what's the point in living life if you don't know what it's about? Right? What's the point of anything if you don't understand it? You're just going through the motions, magnetically pulled to satisfy your flesh, magnetically pulled to eat food and go to the club and just dance and play video games forever. Not saying there's anything wrong with these things, because I do them too. But when your life is just that stuff, when you go, how do you sleep at night? How do you sleep at night knowing that you didn't feed your soul? That's just me. And I don't judge anybody. Do what you got to do. Everyone wakes up at their own time, or everyone doesn't. It's genetic. So you can't blame people. Humans are going to be humans. Some people's genetics don't have the work. That's just how it is. And there are very few of us whose genetics do have the work. And there's a little bit more of us whose genetics have some of the work, and they're incarnated here today to get the rest of the work done. You feel me? There's different levels of people. Everyone's at their own level. That's fine. That's why I don't judge, because I don't know your story. I know my story, though, and I know what I'm here to do. I know what my purpose is here, right? I'm here to translate this stuff. I am a Gemini. I am a communicator. That is my special power, to be able to communicate to anybody at any level. That's why I love talking to beginners, because I know how to unlock certain keys in beginners. And it just so happens that when you talk about pure information, pure light, pure consciousness, it can unlock codes within you at any level, whether it's high or low. But anyways, to get back here about the rituals and the tools that you're using and why, this is why you deal with certain specific colors. So go research the different attributes of the spirit you're trying to contact, or the effect that you're trying to have in the real world, and find out what color correlates with it. I said before, love and romance. If you actually want to do that properly, you're going to go with green, because that deals with Venus, right? Metal is copper. Look at the different gods that correlate with this sphere. If you want to, attack somebody and finish the job, you go with Saturn, because Saturn is that disciplining, finalizing energy. You might even want to take it to Mars, red, black. If you're looking for expansion, for wealth, for money, you probably want to either go blue with Jupiter, which deals with expansion, Zeus, or you might want to go with the sun, right? The gold sun, the provider, right? Anyways, in imaginary work and like creative work and things like that, you probably want to go purple with the moon, right? But this is stuff that you can research easily, because we've got this magical thing called Google that has all the information that humans can type. But anyways, this is why. Correspondence. Cabalion, it talks about the law of correspondence. That's why I keep showing this book. There's different laws that relate to everything and make it all make sense. I didn't meditate before this video, so that's why I'm a little bit more on my manic side, right? As a Gemini, if you haven't noticed by now, there's two parallels. Some videos, I'm calm because I meditated. Other videos, I'm like, get off your ass and do the work. Same person. But, yeah. Ultimately, you have your own way of doing it. I would say learn about the rituals of a certain system, whether it's the Golden Dawn or whatever. Practice them and keep what feels right to you. Maybe practice from another system. But what you're learning is how someone else did it. You're learning their process. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to fine-tune that so that it works for you. And the more you do it, the better you get at it, right? Because there's some of us, and I was one of these people, who would jump from system to system to system to system, and nothing's working. Well, you know why? Because you're not digging deep enough. You're just going surface level. I know this is hard, but pick one or two, however many you can handle, and push the gas. Go as far as you can in that system. You're going to start to see results. When I stuck with the Goetic system, I began to see major results. Several different paths lead to the same place. Doesn't matter which path you go. You could even do Christianity if you do it right, if you study your book, if you actually have a communication and relationship with your God. You can do it with any system, Islam, Judaism, whatever. But you want to get into the esoteric practices of it, the secret practices, the sacred practices of it. You want to do the path working. And if you've studied, you've probably heard the phrase path working. For the longest time, I didn't know what that meant. Do I have the Necronomicon over here? No, I don't. The Necronomicon, if you notice, in the Necronomicon, it talks a lot about the different gates, right? The different gates that you can walk through. You know what I'm saying? Of the Zonae and their attributes. And it talks about the same thing I just showed you on the Tree of Life. If you look, each one of these gates in the chapter called the Zonae and their attributes, it talks about the different deities of the Tree of Life. like I said, they're archetypes with different names according to whatever religion that you're going to, whatever practice you're going to go through. Right? The Book of Entrance and the Walking, right? This is actually the path working of how you ascend the tree of life and get back to source, right? You're going to find this in any practice worth its salt, a path working, right? As a matter of fact, one of the reasons why Demons of Magic is my go-to and favorite book about the Goetia right now until I write my own is because it gives you a usable path working. When you look at a chapter or a page of one of these Goetic spirits, you notice that it gives you, oh cool, I pulled up the Citri page. How about that? But if you notice, it tells you not only the Shemham Mefrosh angel associated with the spirit, it also gives you the Bible verse, I wonder why, and it gives you the evocation keys, right? What are the evocation keys? This is how you do the path working to get in contact with this entity. Essentially, it's the description of his level, right? If you're playing a video game, and say you're playing a fighting game, you want to choose the stage you're going to fight at, those evocation keys are a description of that stage. So you're supposed to get into meditation. That's why I say meditation is the main important thing when you're going down this path. You get into meditation and you visualize what that stage looks like, right? You access all 5 of your extrasensory senses. You hear the sounds, you see the sights, you taste the taste, you smell the smells, you feel the texture, and you ruminate on that. You let it marinate. You build it up as intensely as possible. You put your astral self there. You bring it to you. You put yourself there. You're in that place. By making the environment correct for Citri to arrive, for Astaroth to arrive, for payment to arrive, you put yourself in that atmosphere. Lo and behold, it makes it so much easier for that spirit to come to you. This is where you meet in the middle ground. When you have the Vesica Pisces, which is one circle overlapping another circle, this circle is like you and your world, this circle is the spirit's world. That little sliver in between is where you guys meet. How do you get there? Through path working. Path working is when you use all 5 of your astral senses to place your consciousness in a specific astral plane, a specific astral location, which is where this entity lives. This is why my prosperity ritual and my protection ritual worked so well for you, because I walked you through the path working of where these entities live. So it's not that a red candle is magical, it's that the property of the color red activates something in your subconscious mind and puts you in that place where that energy resides. This tree of life is a diagram, a map of the universe, a map where all these energies live, and you can access them through pathworking. I just gave you all the keys. You don't need to watch any more of my videos. You got it. You can go do it yourself. My job here is done. Gates of the Necronomicon. Another one if you're trying to get to the Necronomicon. But anyways, I'm pretty satisfied with that. That was very informative. If you have any questions, ask me. My email address is travismagus777@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram. You can also ask me questions there. For some reason, I get to you a little bit faster. I just had a guy from the group, the Magus Society. Join the Magus Society on Facebook if you haven't already. The link is in the bio. But I just had somebody from the group, a very active member, talk to me about how he's receiving communications from Astaroth. And we went back and forth, and come to figure out also that in his dreams it's been telling him to read the Necronomicon. And as we started our discussion, we come to figure out that Astaroth is the same entity as Inanna, right? From the Necronomicon, down to the correspondences, the color green, the metal copper, her sphere is Venus, and what he actually needed in his life is what she was able to provide. So my suggestion to him was, you already know, do the path working for the Inanna gate. And he did so, you know, he even sent me a recording of his ritual, which is awesome. He asked me not to share, so I'm not going to do that, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just showing you an example of how easy this is. If you feel like you're being contacted by a spirit, or you want to contact a spirit, get yourself in their zone. Get yourself in their zone. And you know exactly what I mean now. The path working. Yeah. But join the Magus Society. Follow me on Instagram at LVX777. I got something amazing coming out for y'all this summer. It's almost done. Give me about another month to like polish it and fine tune it. I'm able to deliver pure information to the people who need it. Okay? I'm building something for y'all. It's going to be the end-all, be-all of understanding the occult. The next generation that comes after this one is going to be fully awakened. I'm telling you. If I'm not getting to them, somebody else is. One of y'all are. You feel me? The time is coming. So get really excited about what's about to come out here soon from the Magus Society. In fine-tuning this project, I'm asking for your input, for your help, right? If you're in the Magus Society and you don't complete the survey that I've just put out, your voice isn't going to be heard, right? I need to know what you want from me. I need to know what you need on your spiritual path and if I can provide it for you, all right? This is super exciting. It is the joy of my life. It is what I love to do. It's what I stay up every night doing. Digging into these books and trying to put something together so that everyone can understand it. Okay? So take the survey that I have in the bio. It's going to be the first link that you see. Just click read more, description, whatever for this video. And there's going to be a link to a survey. Please take it. I want your voice to be heard. I want your input. So please take the survey. But I'm going to wrap this up because my camera's full and it's going to stop recording anyway. This is TK Trav, aka Travis Magus, here with LVX777. I love you guys. Peace.